What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and this video is supposed to be on LEAP options, but I'm pushing that back until tomorrow because a lot of people are freaking out over Tesla. I posted today that in my Private Stock Market Academy yesterday, I said that Tesla would be going down to about $425, even potentially $400 today. And a lot of people are like, how did you know that? What made you think that that was going to happen? And most importantly, what should you be doing if you are a trader with a Tesla position right now? Obviously, I say it a lot, but if you're a long-term investor in Tesla, you shouldn't be doing anything. You should just be holding the company because you fundamentally believe in it. And if it goes up to $1,000 tomorrow or down to $200 tomorrow, it doesn't really matter. It's a long-term investment. But for those of you who are trading this and you're really like, I don't know if I bought at the top, what's going to happen? That's who this video is for. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. So if you're looking at this and you're like, what is this? This looks like a different language. This is technical analysis, kind of what we're going to talk about. But technical analysis is the ability to read a chart. So this is a candlestick chart. All these other things you see here are indicators, and we'll talk about them in a moment. But if you don't know how to read a chart, if you don't even know what you're looking at right now, I'll put a link down below to videos I've made on technical analysis, and watch that over for a second. But very quickly, I want to talk about Tesla in general. If we look at a daily chart here, this means that every single candle you see is going to be one day. We can see that Tesla has just been on a tear. Obviously, in the past year, we're up over 1,000%. And then since the split, we're actually at one point, let's go back to the 4-hour. You can see here we bounced off this EMA. We're up 22%. And now we talk a lot about greed in the stock market. We talk a lot about sentiment. You guys got to realize, overall, retail investors do not move the market. This means people like you and me with $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 in a portfolio, we don't move the market. Everything is moved by gigantic hedge funds or market makers. And I've talked a lot about that in videos before. And I'm not saying necessarily that the whole stock market is manipulated, but these big people who can actually move the stock understand that they can, and therefore trap smaller people a lot of the times. And we'll talk about that, coming up in a little bit. But essentially, we had this huge move on Tesla. And you can see here we have the RSI was extremely, extremely overbought. RSI is pointing down now. MACD's crossing, which is not a good sign. But we needed a pullback, guys. Anytime that you have a substantial push up, you need a pullback. If we look at Tesla even here, from just, June up until the middle of July, we had a 95% return, but then we actually had, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, a pretty healthy pullback of 22% over a 30-day period. Now we're on another tear where Tesla went from 271 all the way up to 538, which is another 100% move. So now we have to expect that there's going to be a pullback, that there's going to be some sort of consolidation, because if not, a bubble is going to form. And in my opinion, a bubble has already formed. One ways that you can tell that there is a bubble is when you ask people why they are invested in the company, and they don't really know. They don't really know why they're invested in the company. They don't really understand how to read financial documents. They don't even understand the company entirely. They just listen to their friends who are like, yo, stonks go up. I'm trading Tesla today, and wait till battery day, or you're an idiot. Like all these things that you read on these subreddits or on these Facebook groups. Most people invested in Tesla don't even understand what the company is, or what they do, or their path to profitability, or how to read an income statement. They literally just know Elon Musk, the thing's been going up, let's hop in. And sadly, those are the people who are going to get absolutely screwed when this thing does eventually, and we're starting to see pullback. So I said Tesla was going to be at $425, potentially $400 yesterday, based on the fact that we had this big push up. Then we had a sell-off yesterday, bit of a bounce, consolidation, and then our next big support would be what is called a 50-day SMA, and this is basically just the 50-day price on a 4-hour chart, which is usually a pretty strong support. Now, I said that if we do not hold this price right here, or this area of the 30-day SMA, that we were eventually going to move down to $380, which is the 100-day SMA. So in the world of SMAs, you have the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day. The 50-day is the weakest, the 100-day is stronger, and the 200-day is the strongest that you can potentially get. And so we actually broke the 50-day SMA, and I thought we were going to fall below, but more buyers came in. We're holding here. Now, as far as supports are considered coming up, this at around, $435, this is a pretty strong support. If we break this and we close below this, guys, expect to fall down to about $377. If we break and close below that, expect to fall down to $340, $350. That is probably where I see the stock going, is about $350. And you guys can hate me in the comments if you want about it. But that's probably right around where I see that going. And I think about here is where people would start buying, where we'd get some more consolidation and then potentially another push up. But overall, I want to talk, and I've made videos about this plenty of times, guys. I want to talk about what is called a bull trap, right? Bull trap is essentially, I want to say psychological, but it actually does happen. A psychological trap that happens to a lot of retail buyers. We talked earlier about how big hedge funds and basically multi-millionaires and billionaires are able to kind of control the sentiment and control kind of where the stock goes, and not retail investors. So normally what we get is called a bull trap. You can see this here that happened back in February. We had this gigantic run up, like a ridiculous run up from $64. Now remember, this is the split price, but I think it was about $340 up to about $1,000. That's what this big push was. Then we got what's called the bull trap. We get a huge pullback. I mean, in this case, it was a 30% pullback. And so what happens? Everybody who didn't get into Tesla when Tesla was on the way up says, hey, it's down 10%, it's down 20%, it's down 30%. I got to hop in, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And then guess what happens? It ends up pushing all the way back up to highs, but it never actually gets any higher. It sells off completely. Then we get another bull trap, a huge sell-off. I mean, this is from 190 all the way down to 121, 36% drop. And then we get the real bull trap where we bounce again. Everyone says, this is it, this is it. And then look what happens. We get this fake bounce, and then literally the stock crashed, essentially down 56% in only 16 days, guys. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to happen with Tesla right this second, but I would expect something along the lines of this, where we have this monstrous push up. And then, of course, think about it to yourself right now. If you're somebody who invested 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million into Tesla back when it was trading pre-split at $190 to $200 to even $300, $400, would you be taking profits right now? You got to think, it's been over a year. You're not going to have to pay short-term capital gains if you cash out right now. And we're hitting bubble territory. You would literally, unless you're planning to hold for 10 years, you would be dumb to not sell and take profits here. So of course we're going to see a big sell-off, but retail is just going to eat this up and keep going in and going in and going in. So personally, I think we have the sell-off here. I think we're going to get a bit of a bounce tomorrow, maybe 10, 15%. Everyone's going to load into the stock. And then I ultimately think we're going to fall down to $350. So let me know what you guys think. The point of this video is not to deter you from doing something. It's not to deter you from buying Tesla. It's not to deter you from trading this at all. I just want you guys to understand what big money is doing and how they think. You have to think to yourself, if you turned 50 million into 400, 500, $600 million, what would you be doing right now? If you had monstrous, amounts of money in Tesla, what would you be doing right now? And then kind of disassociate yourself. Even if you have a huge position in Tesla, disassociate yourself and say to yourself, what is the potential risk and what is the potential reward? We've seen this before, guys, but the problem is the stock market has a short attention span. We've seen a big run up and we've seen a big run down. And I'm not saying that history has to repeat itself, right? For a lot of people, they don't believe in technical analysis. And I'm telling you, as somebody who has traded for the past 6 years, technical analysis is not always right. If it was always right, everybody would be rich. But it's not always right. It's just something I want you to think about. So comment down below. What do you think about Tesla? Are you invested in it? Are you not invested in it? And if anything, guys, please walk away from this video just thinking to yourself, right? I see so many people who just listen to these people on these Facebook groups, who listen to these other people on YouTube who don't even know what they're talking about, who listen to all of these people they should not be listening to. Or I'm not telling you necessarily to listen to me, but listen to yourself and take a step back and just say, what are we doing here? All right. Thank you, guys. Hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe. Also, if you want to be a part of my private stock market academy, where we posted this exact price and kind of my breakdown of this yesterday before it happened, I'll put the link down below. We give 7 days away 100% for free, just to make sure it's something that you guys are really into. So thank you, guys, and have a good day.